God, that bright light is blinding. Um, yeah, I didn't have any particular goal. I mean, I guess I did have a goal with this video, um, but I didn't. I don't have like a transcript or any sort of plan or anything. But I guess I'm kind of playing with the idea of like getting into independent journalism in some fashion or in like a modern tech centric fashion. Um, just something I'm playing with. Like, I wanted to upload a few videos like this, just of me talking. I guess to see how it felt and like, yeah, to see if I saw any future in it. But yeah, mainly just to see how it felt, to see if it was something that I could see myself doing. Um, I'm a huge fan of Andrew Callahan, Channel Five, various, I don't know, influencers or journalists, sort of a blurred line. I guess people can be both or one or the other. But yeah, I'm definitely playing with that idea, setting up my own platform or something. I think also with like innovations in the field of tech. Yeah, I mean, there's innovations in the field of like software specifically as well, but I see it as just a, like a societal, like just general technological innovation. Like I don't think it. I mean, it is new technology that will affect the entire world. I don't see it like the changes. It's not really just changes in software engineering. It is and will be changes in every field. But anyway, so for some reason, those kinds of changes, the fact that I'm in a pretty transitionary period, that means I'm unemployed. Um, yeah, for some reason, kind of motivated me to basically record this video. Because like going forward, I'm just really not sure where I'm going to be going, what I'm going to be doing as a career. I think I wanted to flesh some of those thoughts out too. It was like part of the impetus for this recording. Um, yeah, because I feel like also when I see every new, like every blog post about how like this is this is how software engineering has changed, how programming has changed, and programming will be this in 5 years. More it's more like a year nowadays. Like it will be agents, teams of agents and stuff. I totally think that's true, but it's like they're like, oh, in a year, like we won't be doing any coding, and like software engineering will take this shape, we'll have this format, and you will be managing AI agents, say. And I'm not saying that I don't think that will happen. I mean, it's happening and probably will happen. Maybe it'll look different, whatever. But I'm just like they say, okay, yeah, you will be managing teams of AI agents. Learn these skills, learn how to orchestrate them, learn you know validation. But I would all just consider all of it orchestration or something, like yeah, managing these AI agents, whatever. Um, and they're like, yeah, like learn these skills, like learn how to do that. Like then you'll be prepared, and you'll be like your job. I don't know. You'll stay relevant, and I'm just like, you know, you'll stay relevant for like another year, and then after that, you won't be relevant, and there'll be another skill. Just as people had to learn software engineering and like then cloud and then DevOps and stuff, now they're like, oh, like this is the new technology that is like state of the art, and this is what you have to use, and this is what it is now. Which again, I think is true. But if you're a software engineer and you've learned all this fundamental knowledge of like programming from scratch, and over time you eventually tools become obsolete and you have to learn new tools, and now they're like, oh, learn this new tool, and you're sort of just like, it's the same story over and over again. Like again, learning how to like orchestrate agents. I'm just like, agents will probably do that, and that will be obsolete in like a year. So I'm kind of just like, I feel like you have to think bigger. Um, which, don't know if I'm really capable of doing that. But as far as what I want to do, what I think is what I think makes sense to do, um, yeah, I feel like at a certain point it's just going to become like programming the analog to like being a software engineer, i.e., like building something now is like owning a business. Or again, maybe it doesn't, like, maybe it's not even, maybe it doesn't have to be like you own an LLC, but like, I don't know, it's just like the next like the C suite. I mean, that's a few layers of abstraction, but like maybe we move up to that. Like maybe an engineer could just be a CEO. I mean, maybe it doesn't even make sense really to speak with these terms, but like maybe now an engineer can like be a CEO. And like, I also don't really think like, I feel like it's we're anthropomorphizing these agents. Where like people are like, oh, like you're gonna be the CEO of a company of agents, and I'm like, why would it why would there be a bunch of why would it be a bunch of agents? Like, why wouldn't it just be one? And then maybe there's a valid response to that, and like do this parallelization or whatever. I mean, that may, I see that that's kind of engineering. There's an engineering principle there, but you know, it if you're the CEO and below you is some like agent employee, and they're managing a bunch of other agents, I feel like that's effectively like like it's like if I hire one person and I ask them to do a certain amount of work, how they do it generally doesn't really concern me. So if I ask an agent to do something, like to like be the COO, it, how they accomplish that, whether they use agents, whether they use 100,000 million agents or not, it's like what, I don't really care. Um, so anyway, then you get to the point where like, okay, you're the CEO of a company and you have like this. I really see it as like a single AI assistant or employee. Then it's almost like it resets itself in your, I don't know, there's some weird like, I don't know, just it requires a lot more like pondering on my part, but yeah, like what is that? Man, I just really don't know like what. It's not even like what happens to like work, but just like what even happens to like entities. Like if a business is a single person, like is that a business, or what's the point of it being a business? I guess it could be. I guess a business just like buys and sells a good or service or something. I don't know. Definitely getting derailed, although again, this was just sort of like to break the ice. And yeah, going forward, I'm really not sure what. Like, I don't, applying for these engineering roles, it feels like, uh, not to be too like dramatic, but it feels like you're just applying to like be a pawn, and they're like, do this one tiny. What I mean, it's many things they ask you to do. Obviously, you have a lot of responsibilities, but like, it's in the same way actually quite kind of narrow. Like, they're just like you have to know these three things. Or it's like 1,000 things really, but they're like they're these specific things, and they don't give a flying. They don't care. I don't know if I can curse really, but they don't care at all if you know about like economics or something. It's like they do not care. It has zero, in most cases, has absolutely zero bearing on like your ability to perform your job as a software engineer in my experience. So it's really narrow, I would argue. Like you only have to have a narrow base of knowledge. So it feels silly and like myopic to work like to have that job. So I'm just like it, yeah, it would be extremely difficult to build my own company, my own product. Don't even know what that would be. Um, but I'm also just like Why wouldn't I? You know, like if there's like if I can have knowledge of like, say just like for a very simple example, I can like know 5 facts. I'm not sure if this is gonna make any sense at all, but like, you know, well, I guess it doesn't make sense because it's very simple. But like, you know, do I choose for those 5 facts to be like very esoteric knowledge of like three software tools or 5 software tools that will be obsolete in like by the time I fucking post this by the time I post this video, um, or do I like start a company and then yeah, you know, basically just decide to spend my time and effort understanding like having different knowledge. I just kind of feel like it's seems stupid to know something that so easily look like they're like, you know, I just had an interview, like no offense or anything to my interviewer, and I'm obviously not going to mention the company, but it didn't really go that well. um and you know, he's just asking me like, um I think he like asked at one point, he asked me what was the difference between an MCP server and API, and like what, you know, just describe an MCP server and how it worked, whatever. And you know, I mean that like can just look that up. And I'm not saying that you it isn't valuable to have knowledge that you can look up, but you know, it, I mean, yeah, we all have limited headspace. And again, to like use a very simple example, if I can only know 5 things, you know, why would I choose to know that thing that I can't look up? Yeah, that's it's stupid. Anyway, okay, I'm gonna try it in this video like nowish. But I don't know. Yeah, I feel like I might as well. It's the best use of my time and energy to like create something myself. I mean, while it does feel like it feels like, you know, all the low hanging fruit has been picked. There also like does it are a lot of, you know, services that like don't exist and that are necessary in just areas I guess people don't. There's not much incentive to work in, so I mean there has to be opportunity. But yeah, I'm really just talking to myself. I don't even know if this video will get any views. I'm certainly not going to share it or anything at this point. But that's what I want to try to do. At least just allocate some time right now. Just be like, go try and like build things and yeah, I guess like start a company. Why not? I mean, I know it's not easy, but it seems easy. Um, Obviously, it's not easy though. But yeah, I just kind of feel like it's a more worthwhile use of my time. uh, Would be of anyone's time. Anyway, that's I'm gonna conclude it there. Stop the bleeding. Yeah, we'll see if I even record any more videos. Yeah, as far as my channel, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm just chronicling my life. Honestly, I don't even know how the audio is on this. It's probably bad. Um, but yeah, I'm also interested in doing just journalism and reporting information that is worth reporting. That still seems like a worthwhile endeavor. Like, yeah, I feel that, and also just think I would enjoy it. You know, at the end of the day, I'm like this point in like evolution. I'm like, maybe you should just try to do things that you enjoy, and if you can somehow make a living doing that, then just be happy. Anyway, all right, over and out. I'm signing off.